Hello and welcome to 7 Days. Zack Yusof here with a quick recap of some of the top stories from the last week. At the top of the show, tragedy struck in Europe once again this week as another Islamic State suicide bomb attack left several dead and many others wounded in Belgium. At least 31 people were killed in twin attacks on Brussels airport, as well as a rush hour metro train in the Belgian capital on Tuesday, triggering security alerts across Western Europe and bringing some cross-border transport to a complete halt. Islamic State claimed the responsibility for the two bomb attacks, the terror group said in a statement released on its official Telegram account. A third man, seen with two Islamic State suicide bombers at Brussels airport, was the focus of a Belgian manhunt on Thursday, after police identified three others, including two brothers, as the main suspects behind the tragic bombings. The third bomber, security sources told Belgian media, was a man called Najim Lahraoui, a veteran Belgian Islamic State fighter in Syria, suspected of making explosive belts for November's Paris attacks, and who also detonated a suitcase bomb at the airport. So far, Belgian police have arrested 6 people in their probe of Tuesday's suicide bombings, whilst authorities in France said they thwarted a militant plot there that was at an advanced stage. Worrying stuff in Europe at the moment. Okay, moving along in China, more than 130 people have been apprehended after they were implicated in a high-profile vaccine scandal, and 69 criminal cases have been filed nationwide, according to the Ministry of Public Security, or MPS, on Thursday. A large quantity of improperly stored or expired vaccines had allegedly been sold in more than 20 provincial-led regions since 2011. Hua Jingfeng, a senior official with the MPS, said at a multi-agency press conference that the vaccines had been sold for 310 million yuan, or 47.6 million US dollars, rather than 570 million yuan, as previously reported, and 20,000 doses have been seized by the authorities. Now, 29 pharmaceutical companies are suspected of involvement in selling the illegal vaccines, and 16 vaccination institutions are suspected of buying them, according to officials at the joint press conference of the MPS, China Food and Drug Administration, and National Health and Family Planning Commission. Amazing stuff there. Okay, coming up next, Cuba, for which after President Obama comes the Rolling Stones. The legendary Brit group arrived in Havana on Thursday, one day ahead of their free concert that marks the end of a historic week on the island and a new chapter in Cuba's relationship with the United States. The concert is the latest sign of Cuba's thaw with the West, decades after Cuba actually banned music from artists such as the Stones, the Beatles, and Elvis Presley on the radio and television after the 1959 revolution that brought Fidel Castro to power. Now, the Rolling Stones' performance comes just days after US President Barack Obama visited the country, the first visit to the island by a US president in 88 years, opening a new chapter in US engagement with the island's government after decades of hostility between the former Cold War foes. Amazing stuff. I'll tell you what, Rolling Stones in Havana, Cuba, that's a hot ticket indeed. Okay, in the world of sport, former England international soccer player Adam Johnson was jailed for 6 years on Thursday after being found guilty of sex offences involving an underage 15-year-old girl. Johnson, 28, who was sacked by Premier League club Sunderland back in February, was convicted earlier this month of sexual activity with a child, having already admitted kissing and grooming the teenager. Tell you what, looks like the end of his sporting career for Adam Johnson there. Tragic stuff. Very sad indeed. Staying with football, Netherlands, Ajax and Barcelona football legend Johan Cruyff, widely regarded as one of the greatest football players of all time and Europe's first footballing superstar, died of cancer aged 68 on Thursday in his adopted hometown of Barcelona, surrounded by his family. As a player, Cruyff was the embodiment of Dutch total football, a fluid style of play focused on ball possession and rapid passing, and emerged as one of the world's greats in the early 70s when he helped Ajax Amsterdam win 3 European Cups in a row, 1971 and 1973. Cruyff was also named European Footballer of the Year 3 times, back in 1971, 73 and 74 respectively. Cruyff joined Barcelona for a then world record transfer fee of £2 million and led them to their first La Liga title in nearly 15 years, back in 1974. Cruyff was also a key player in the great Netherlands team that reached the 1974 World Cup final, when a global audience saw him execute the now famous Cruyff turn. Johan Cruyff, an absolute footballing legend who will be sorely missed by all sports fans. So until next time, have a great week.